Okay. All right. Did anybody have a question because they looked at something last night, something you want me to do first? Just start at the top. All right, so solve by graphing. What do you want to do to the first one? Okay, so we can either get it in y equals form or find the intercepts, either way. The first one might not be too hard. Let's see. If I, come on. Why can't I get this to work? Okay, if I do this one in blue, let's see, if I subtract the 8 that way and add the y that way, won't it say 2x plus 8 minus 8? I messed up already. 2x minus 8 equals y. Is that right, guys? Anybody else solve and get that? Okay, I'm not going to have good luck with my tablet, so I'm faking some dots here. The other one, we could solve, subtract over and divide, and it doesn't come out horrible. But like Martin started to say, if x was 0, what would we have? 5 times what is 20? And if y was 0, right? 5 times 4 would be 20 as well. So we have 4, 0, and 0, 4. Oh, miracle of miracles. Where do they intersect, guys? Be careful. Yeah. I get them wrong all the time. It is over 4 on the x and up 0. Now, I don't have probably a lot of extra time, but 2 times 4 minus 0 is supposed to equal 8, and 5 times 4 plus 5 times 0 is supposed to equal 20. These are really easy to do a quick check on, yes? So don't get them wrong. If you do the check and it doesn't work, come to see me and tell me, I have the check and it's not working, I can't find my mistake. And I'll say, oh, your mistake is right there. Go fix it. Okay, what's different about this question? Okay, the first one is nicely solved for y. Down 2 and over 1 is the slope. Solid or dotted, though, or dashed? It is a dashed line because it does not have the or equal to. And this is a less than, so it means we're going to shade. Now, below that line, this is the kind of line where sometimes students go, I don't know what you mean by below. See, it's where y, it says y is less than. So if I look at the y-axis, where it's going down below that, it's on this side. Everything below the line, as in on the left, kind of, because it's where the y-axis points down. All right, if I add 3x over to the other side here, I don't know if this is how you guys would do this. Then divide by 2. Do I need to flip the inequality around? So it crosses at 2, ooh, down here, just kidding, negative 2, up 3 and over 2. I think that's where they intersect. Solid or dotted? Solid, and this one is a greater than or equal to, so I shade up. Now again, that is above where the y-axis is pointing above this line, so it's this way. So the area that is double shaded would be that, I think. Is everybody agreeing on that? Number 3. Am I going too fast? Okay, solve by elimination. We have to use elimination. I'm checking your work, okay? So what does the solve by elimination mean? You can't just use the matrix. You got to show me work. Like, I need to make something drop out. Do you want to make x's or y's drop out? You want to pick x's to drop out. So what do you want to make the top one? A 6, so you're going to multiply through by a 3. All the way both sides. So it's 6x plus 9y equals 27. Did I do that right? Okay. The next one, though, I don't want it to be a 6. I want it to be a what? Negative 6. So I'm going to multiply through by a negative 2. So I get negative 6x plus 8y equals positive 58. Did I do that right, guys? Okay. If I add, I have 17y equals 85. That divides evenly and gives me 5. Then what? Does it matter where? Nope, anywhere. Where do you want to go? The very top one up there? Okay. 2x plus 3y equals 9. This is a mistake I make all the time. First of all, you have to be real careful that your x's and y's look different, right? So you know what you solved for and plug it back in the right place. That was a y, so make sure you put it in for a y, not an x. Because if somebody's going to do something silly, it'll be me. Subtract 15 would be negative 6. Did anybody get negative 3? Okay, so we have negative 3, 5. It does say answer as an ordered pair and show your work. And if I wanted to check it, 2 times negative 3 plus 3 times 5 is supposed to equal 9. Somebody check that one while I write down the other one. 3 times negative 3 minus 4 times 5 is supposed to equal negative 29. The second one works. The first one works too, I think. We good? All right, number 4. Shayla sold bows and bracelets to raise money for a trip. She charged $4 per bow and $5 per bracelet. The first day she collected $100. She sold 5 times as many bows as bracelets. Find the number of each she sold. What's the sentence that's going to mess us up? Yeah. Okay. 5 times as many bows as bracelets. So what did she sell more of? More bows, right? So how are we going to get them to be equal? Yes, so the bows will equal 5 times the bracelets. Is that making sense? Okay, so what do you want to make X and what do you want to make Y?
Number of bows.
Oh, Destiny wins. Number of bows. It's not the color, the price, the weight, the height, the length of ribbon used. It is the number of them. Okay, Y stands for?
Number of bracelets.
Number of bracelets, or hashtag bracelets. Okay, now what? $4 per bow plus $5 per bracelet is $100. Okay, then what? Bows is 5 times the bracelets, right? Just putting that over there, so we have X equals 5Y. Can I do this by substitution? Could I do a matrix if I want? Doesn't specify, right? I'm going to do substitution. I'm going to put what? 5y in for x. Actually, I could put an x in for 5y. So I'd have 4, where there was an x, I'm going to put a 5y. This would be 20y plus 5 more y's. What's that going to be? And then if I plug it back in up here, x would be? Okay, we got 20 bows and 4 bracelets. Okay, I'm checking each of those things. Okay, so don't just, I always have somebody who goes, oh yeah, I can figure that out by guess and check, and they write down the sentence and that's it. You need to show me that you wrote the equations, okay? I don't care. You don't have to show work because you could have done it as a matrix on your calculator, I suppose, but you got to write the equations. If the equations don't match, you know, if you wrote 5x equals y and that doesn't match, it's not going to work. We good? No? Need more time? X was 20. All right. Yeah, I'm really scared of this question because I don't think you guys did the practice on this, and I would highly suggest you go back and do the homework. There's only like 3 or 4 of them assigned, but this is a nonlinear system. Remember this? Could have more than one answer, right? Okay, so this one isn't too bad. Do you want to solve? Now, this is where it gets tricky, okay? We can solve for x or y here. If I solve and have to replace y with a 2 minus x right here, I'm going to have to FOIL it all out, right? So what if instead I solve this for x? So then it says x is 2 minus y. That seems like it might be a little easier. What do you think? So try to plan ahead a little bit. If you try it one way and it isn't working, go back and try another way. Now put it in for x. By the way, there was only one x to replace, right? So that was nice. So it's negative 3y squared minus 12, but instead of x, I'm writing 2 minus y plus 3y plus 24 equals 0. Okay, go crazy. I messed up already.
Oh, no.
Anybody get an answer?
Kind of.
What do you have for your, doesn't have to be the same as mine, doesn't. I probably did something wrong.
That's right.
You got 0 and 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Negative 3 can never equal 0. Or if I write negative 3y equals 0 and I divide, I still get y equals 0, right? And then this other one, y minus 5 equals 0, makes y 5. Okay, so y is 0 or 5. Now, this is where it gets tricky. I don't know if you remember. Y could be 0 or y could be 5, but each one is a separate ordered pair. And each one is dependent on a particular x. You can't mix and match them at will. So if y is 0, look, this is our magic equation right here. It says x is 2 minus y. So 2 minus 0 would make this 2. 2 minus 5 would make this negative 3. Are you still lost, Martin? Did you distribute correctly?
I didn't see something else.
Okay. All right, so then how would you check this? First of all, you could check that x plus y adds up to 2 on both pairs, right? That seems okay. But then you could plug them in this, right? On your calculator very carefully. Negative 3 times 0 squared minus 12 times 2 plus 3 times 0 plus 24 is supposed to equal 0. So that would be negative 24 plus 24 is 0. That works. And then the other one is a little more complicated. It's negative 3 times 5 squared, which would be 25, minus 12 times negative 3, which would be plus 36, plus 3 times 5, which would be plus 15, plus 24 equals 0. Somebody checking that for me? 39. Yeah, I think it's right. Okay. But do you see the point here, guys? There's no reason to get any of these wrong, right? Can check them. Okay. Number 6, how do you know if you can multiply two matrices together?
If the
Okay, give me an example, that'd be easier.
2 by 2, 2 by 2.
Okay, a 2 by 2, yes, but
2 by 2 by 2 by 7.
okay, because these have to be the same, right? And the resulting matrix would be, if we multiply those together, we'd get a 2 by 7. Okay, can we do one more that doesn't have the same number anywhere or only where it has to be?
3 by 5.
Okay, so this would be a yes, because these are the same. And if we multiplied those together, we would get a 3 by 9. Questions? You got that? If I'm speaking Greek, I can go back over it.
If we had to answer this question on the quiz, how would we word
How do you know if, okay, this is rows by columns, rows by columns. So the column of the first, must equal row of second. Yep. I think it's actually a yes/no question. I think I give you an example and say, can you multiply these? If so, what size would it be? And don't, it might be no, okay? So don't think, oh, it's got to be yes, because, are we good? All right, given the initial, okay, I don't know, students do this one backwards, so please be careful. Given the initial inventory of the number of textbooks at Harlem, okay, so this was our initial inventory, the delivery matrix of a shipment of additional books over the summer, find the updated inventory. So what happened? Are we adding or subtracting? Because students do this backwards for some reason. We didn't ship books away, we got a shipment into Harlem. Does that make sense? So we're adding. So what does it look like, guys? It's not complicated. Remember this? You can type them in your calculator, but that sounds like a lot of hooey to type a matrix in. Can't we just type the numbers and add them together? So what goes in this spot right here? 30. 34 plus 15 would be 49. 72 and 68. Didn't seem worth putting it into the calculator, did it?
It seems like a very, like, it didn't feel like you needed that.
No, but because the actual matrix for like algebra, geometry, trig books, pre-calc books is a lot bigger than that. And, you know, going across, we have, you know, the ones that are stored in Miss Hofbauer's room, Miss Gupta's room, Mr. Osborne's room. So then it would be more complicated, yeah. That size, it was just a cheesy way to do a matrix, make up a matrix addition problem. Good question. And I don't want to give you, if I give you one that's a 6 by 6 and you make a little mistake somewhere, you know, it's easier, just give you a little one, make sure you know how to do it. Okay, I have decided to bump all of your summative points by 3%. Okay, not really. Choose an appropriate scalar. What would you need to multiply by to up everybody 3%, not to find the 3%?
1 point.
Yes. So you get to keep your current grade and add 3%, which would be 1.03. So now we need to find the numbers. Again, I wouldn't probably take time to type it in. You certainly could, because it would be fairly easy to do then. Oh, no, we don't need that up there. Just kidding. What size is that matrix?
4 by 1.
4 by 1. Can you read me the numbers?
74, 88, 64, and 95.
There is a scalar button on here, but I would just do it from the home screen. I think you can just go 1.03 times, times, not divide. And I put that in matrix A. We'll see if it lets us do that. Yep. Okay. And it didn't say to round. I think the one on the quiz is a word problem, is a money problem. So what should you round to if it's a money problem, guys? Hundredths, yes, to pennies. So if this was money and we're marking something up 3%, we could leave these as these kind of decimals. If it had been 76.225, we should round it to 0.23, right? This one, we don't need to round. We'll just leave it. I don't care. We good? Okay. Oh, this says multiply. Honestly think this isn't on the quiz, but I probably shouldn't tell you that. Okay, I'm going to do it kind of fast, but I'm going to show all the work. Row times column. First of all, we can do it because they're 2 by 2, yes? So here's my all the work one, and then we'll simplify it. So row times column will give us the first one here. So it's 6 times 4 plus 0 times negative 2. Okay, I'll switch to blue, do the same row times the second column. What will I get over here? 6 times A plus 0 times 9. Okay, bottom row, green, times back to this row, or column, sorry. So C times 4, can I write 4 times C? Plus 8 times negative 2. And then if I do purple, I can't get it to start. Okay. This row times this column over here would be A times C or C times A plus 8 times 9. So what would that look like if I simplified it down a little bit, guys? 24, 6A, 4C minus 16, and AC plus 72. Okay, you can't do it on the calculator because even if you try and you put a variable in there, the only reason it's going to do it is because it's going to have a number stored in that variable, and it's going to be wrong. Okay, number 10. This is for sure on the quiz. The local Targets keep 3 types of calculators in stock at each of its stores. The current inventory and retail price for each is shown below. Determine the value of each store's total inventory. Okay, we're supposed to multiply these together because these are all the stores in their calculators and these are what they're worth. Okay? Let's think about what order we got to do this in. What size is this matrix up here? It is a 1 by 3. And this matrix down here is a 3 by 3. Okay, but we got a problem. Because, well, I don't think we do, but we need to check that it works. What order would we have to do it in? 1 by 3 times the 3 by 3. Okay, but we need to make sure the labels match up. 1 is what? The row is the money. And the 3 on this one was the kind of calculator. And the 3 on this one is the 3 rows, and that is the calculators. And this 3 is the... So if we do this, this has to be the same, and it is. We will end up with a what? Yes, a 1 by 3 matrix that's going to tell us across the money and then store A, B, and C. All right, are we ready? I'm not, because I should type these in before class, but I didn't. Goodness, half power edit, B, 3 by 1. Okay, what's the 3 by 1, somebody? That's not, it's a 1 by 3. Oh. Why did you not finish the review? Because half power can't type. Okay, 23.
130, 150.
You want to
Quit, matrix, edit, C. 3 by 3. Okay, what do I got? 7.
4, 8, 3, 9, 6, 4, 8, 3.
Thank you, Destiny. Okay. And then that's the order I needed him in, right? The first one I put in 2. And the second one I put in C or 3. And I'm multiplying. Did anyone get those numbers? Okay. Could you have done it by hand if you had to? Multiplied them. Okay. So 1151. No, I'm not saying, think about how easy it really would be to do by hand, Martin. Store A has 7 of these, 3 of these, and 4 of those. So you just do 23 times 7 plus 130 times 3 plus 4. You don't have to think of it as in a matrix if you do it by hand. Okay, shh. Not suggesting you do it by hand. Tell me the numbers again.
1151. 2460. 141.
Okay, and that is supposed to be 11. Does that look right now? Kind of looked wonky. Okay. Next section. Create a matrix that could be reduced to row echelon form to solve this system of equations. Do not reduce it. Okay, I want to know that you could write this as a matrix. That's it. Now, as a matrix, does that mean you do the little XYZW as a separate matrix? It's not this kind, right? No. It's all one big matrix. Yes, just to cheat for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, so the first row would have what?
2 and 105.
Next row, anybody? This one?
0, 7, 8, 6, 3, and 7.
Okay, I gave you spaces even. How nice. Okay. 5.
0, -6, and 1, and negative.
Okay. And 1, 8, -4, 0, and 18. Doesn't even ask you to solve. Okay? Everybody good? Any questions? Yes. The dotted line? No. If you don't put the dotted line in, it's fine. Everybody okay? Number 12, solve the following using an inverse. Okay. Am I going to know how you solved? I'm not going to know how you solved. So if you want to do RREF, you can, but you need to write it as though you were going to do it this way. I'm going to do it the way it says to, but okay. So the first matrix goes what?
3,
4, and then back to 2, -6, 4, and 4, 2, -4. Did I get that right? What goes in this guy?
X, Y, Z,
Okay, and over here we have 38 and 8. Okay, remember when we put this in A, and then we do times the inverse of this guy in B, what happens is it undoes each other, and you should get a matrix that looks like this with 3 numbers in it. Okay. What am I down to? D, maybe? Edit, matrix 4, and it's a 3 by 3. Is that right? Can you read me the numbers, Destiny?
3, 3, 4, 2, -6. 4, 4, 2, -4.
That's the one where you use
Am I at E? Yes, it is. It is a 3 by 1, right? 38 and 8? Okay, so then we go to the home screen and we do the name of the first one I put in, which was 4. Yeah. D, inverse button, times E, maybe? Okay, did anybody get this? 4, 2, 3? Yep, not? Everybody okay? Now, if I had put it all into one big matrix, 3, 3, 4, 30, 2, -6, 4, 8, 4, 2, -4, 8, and then did RREF, what would it have looked like when we were all done? Do you want this or something? One of them in there is the math department and the whole school. I wrote on them. It would be 1, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 1, 3. Remember how that goes? This is X, Y, Z, X equals 4, Y equals 2, Z equals 3. I'm just trying to tie those things together in your brain. We good? Okay, so now we're to that question. I've given you 3 and you have to tell me which ones are solvable. It says if it is determine if it's no solution, a single solution, or many solutions. If many solutions, use a single variable to express the possible solutions. I cannot tell you how many people last year just wrote many solutions and thought they were done. Be careful. And you have to tell me the solution if it has a single solution. I think that's what some people did too. Okay, this first sentence says X equals 9, Y equals 7, but then it says 0 equals -5 somehow, right? So that one's no solution. Everybody good? Be careful, there was no 1 in that last line. Okay, this one means X equals 12, Y equals -3, and Z equals 5. So we're good. It has one solution, 12, -3, 5. You can just give me the solution. You don't need to tell me it only has one. Any questions? Okay, what does this first sentence say here? X plus 3Z equals 8. Then it says Y plus 2Z equals 4. The zeros are true, therefore we have many solutions, but we have to write something where they're all in terms of, what do they have in common? Z. So I'm going to put Z here because Z can be any number. But in place of Y, I'm going to write Y is equal to what? Minus 2Z? 4 minus 2Z. Or -2Z plus 4, same thing, everybody good? Okay, and then X plus 3Z was 8. So X would equal, 8 minus 3Z. Feeling like you got that? There are more of those on worksheet 13. Okay, yes, badly drawn picture. But this is how it is on the quiz, not the badly drawn picture, though it probably is badly drawn. But I broke the 3 steps to optimization down so that you can do parts and not get double whammied, okay? So this one, here's the profit, and here's all the corner points. So I just wrote them on my picture, I think, on my answer key. If I do 4 times 0 plus 10 times 8, this guy would be an 80. Over here, if I did 4 times 4 plus 10 times 5, what would that be, guys? 60. 16 plus 50, 66. Yes, sorry, my brain was stalling out. Okay, this would be 0. I think we're good there. 4 times 6 plus 10 times 0 would be 24. So the maximum profit of 80 occurred at 0.8. Everybody good? What? Yeah, we need to stop producing X's, whatever they are, if we want to maximize profit. Yep. Can always adjust the profit statement. Yep. All right, so this one is all about graphing and finding the corner points. You can use your calculator if you want to try to find them on there, but I think if you graph carefully, you'll find them. Otherwise, you can use a matrix, and we'll talk about that. What is this business? Y is greater than 0 and X is greater than 0. Yeah, so even though Hofbauer gave you some space down here, make sure in your final answer you're not shading anything down there, okay? It does say show the shaded region. Don't just tell me the corners. You got to have a shaded region when you're done. Okay. How do I graph this one? 8 and go. Oh my gosh, is yours this stretched funky?
Yes.
Yeah.
The graph paper is weird as all get out. Okay, they're all solid lines, but where am I shading for that one? It's a less than, so it's down this way. Okay, I don't want to shade too much. And then I'll do in blue this one, which starts up at 6 and does what? Down 1 over 2. On this horrible graph paper. Okay. So the final area is that area right there. Now be real careful. Is 0.8 one of the corners? No, because it's outside the shaded, right? I got to use 0.6. Okay, 0.0. This red one down here is 8 over 8 and up 0. Okay. Now, I think I could figure this out by graphing, but otherwise I could, because they were both equal to y, I could set them equal to each other and solve. That's got a fraction. That's kind of icky. Yeah, I could multiply through by 2. Yeah. Otherwise, I could move the x over, so it said x plus y equals 8, and the other one said like 0.5x plus y equals 6. Could I put it in a little matrix that was 1, 1, 8, 0.5, 1, and 6, and then do RREF?
Well, I'm just getting 5 equals 2.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I got, if I remember, is that where it was? Okay, yeah, that one. And you could always just chuck it back in here and make sure it works. 4 plus 4 is 8. Half of 4 is 2. Plus 4 is 6. It's checking in both. We're good? That's all you have to do on that one. Any questions? Then we have to set up the constraints. Farmer Wes raises pigs and geese. He wants no more than 20 animals total. So it says X is pigs and Y is geese. Can you give me a constraint for that sentence I bolded there? X plus Y, total number of animals has to be less than 20. So say it as a words, pigs plus geese less than 20. Make sense? He could have no more than 12 geese. Y has to stay less than 12. Due to a noise ordinance. He will spend 80 to make a raise a pig and 40 to raise a goose, and he has only $900. Okay, is that a constraint?
Yep.
So 80 per pig plus 40 per goose has to be under $900. Find the maximum profit he can make. Okay, then we have our profit here, which we could have done first. He makes what, $65 per pig and $40 per goose. What are a couple things someone could do wrong? Well, they could have used the 80 and 40 here. Instead, they could mess that up. They could not be careful with this one, right? This has only got geese in it. I don't know what else they could do. I think we're pretty clear. We good? Yeah. Yes, very, very easy to mix up the X and Y. Make sure you read real carefully. All right. Oh, I gave you some extra practice at the bottom. Let me see if I can find Miss Abruzzo's key to tell you what those should come out to, because that was really the problem I was most worried about, guys. Yep, not spotting it. Yeah, it should be online. She should have the key to those. I was just going to put it in the video. Here it is. Okay. The answers to those, this one is 7, -9, and 3, -5. And this one down here is -3, 10, and -2, 7. Okay? On this one, it's easier to put in for the Y because there's only a Y in one spot. On this one, this is an icky one. I did X. I put in for the X's. But this is a hard one. Yes, ma'am.
There's some blue stuff on the carpet.